Good morning, everybody.
Hi, good morning.
Oh, lovely to see you all. Lovely to see you all.
It's great to be back. We had such a weird experience on the way back that remnants of that hurricane were cutting right across our path of how to get home, so we had to wait a couple of days, and then we got home.
Without incident.
That's our story.
Yes.
We're sticking to it.
We're so grateful.
So it's great to be away. It's really, really great to be back and see you all again. So welcome to Unity. Welcome to all of our friends online, on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, our website. Thanks everybody for being here today. And we're going to do what? Open with a song, I guess, right?
Yes, that would be a good thing.
We want to welcome David Weiss here today. He's substituting for Blair.
Yay.
And Jim Paulson and Rhonda Cooley, and of course, wonderful Sarah will be on the violin. So
thank you, Sarah, starting us off. Thank you. Okay.
You do. I claim a blessing. Yeah, your music's there, so. Wait a minute. Wait till we all come in together. 1, 2, ready, and. Ooh, I claim a blessing. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start the day, knowing good is on its way. I am claiming perfect health, love and laughter, friends and wealth. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. Sing it, you know it. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. With conviction undeterred and power of the spoken word, take my life and redefine, break the shackles of my mind. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Take it, guys. I lift my thoughts to a higher ground, knowing miracles are all around. Each day unfolds as it should when I'm focusing on my good. Life is filled with opportunities. Say, I wonder what good is coming to me. Oh, stand up. I claim a blessing. Sing it. I claim it. Oh, I claim a blessing again. I claim it. Oh, I claim a blessing. I claim it. Oh, I claim a blessing. Yeah.
What a music team we have today. Aren't they awesome? Really awesome. Well, welcome everyone to Unity of Charlottesville. It is such a joy for Don and I to be back again with you in person. We've been with you in spirit the whole month, and watching you online as well. And so people who are online with us today, we're grateful. On the website, Zoom, YouTube, Facebook, however it is, we're glad you're with us. And glad that all of you are here in person as well. We do have a wonderful way of starting our day, but I just wanted to say that being away was wonderful. And we did get some sun. I don't know if you can tell. We were at the beach a lot, and just having a kind of a laid-back time in New Hampshire and Maine. Got to see my brother and sister-in-law, our nephews, and some friends along the way, and our niece, and oh my gosh, so it was reclaiming a lot of connections with the Northeast. And we're very, very grateful. We weathered 2 hurricanes in the Northeast. Henri did not.
Henri was supposed to. Henri was actually supposed to. There you go. Henri was actually supposed to hit Maine, where we were, mid-coast Maine, in Camden, Maine. And so we were the only people in the grocery store stocking up on water. All the Mainers were going, yeah, come on, just a little thing. So, yeah.
But you
people.
realize that we used to live in South Florida, and one of the reasons why we left was because of all the hurricanes. So, you know, God has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
So we're so glad to be with you today. And of course, one of the wonderful things that we do together is pray together. So let's take a moment now. And David, if you want to do a little soft noodling, that'd be great. Take a moment to center within. And we know that as we join together in prayer, the energy of prayer is amplified and goes forth to do the good work in this world that it is meant to do. So we allow ourselves now to focus within, to really go to our heart space, that place of all possibility, that place of divine connection, that place of oneness with everyone in the world. And so we are so grateful to know that as we come together, we reaffirm our divinity and our oneness. And so in these days of so much change and so much reversals and upheavals, we are the people that can stand in that energy and know the truth that we are one with Spirit, and that no matter what new configurations are happening in the world, of storms or whatever changes that are happening, that we are unity people that can hold fast to the oneness with Spirit, knowing that we are beloved children of the Most High God, and that our good life is assured as we claim it, as we center within and be the calm presence in the world of so much change and so much upheaval. We are so grateful to know this truth and to know that as we claim our oneness and claim our divinity, that our path is made smooth before us. How grateful we are to know these teachings and to be reaffirmed week after week as we come together here and during our prayers on Wednesdays and whenever we come together, that we are one family, we're one Spirit, and that we are always a place of welcome for all people of every race and religion, every nationality, lifestyle, sexual orientation, and gender identity. We are one people because we are all created in the image and likeness of God. We are so grateful to know this, to remember it, to reaffirm it week after week, and to be a place of love, a place of harmony, a place of oneness. And so we affirm this prayer again today, knowing that this prayer does make a difference in the world, where all people can finally come together and be in harmony and be in oneness. We look for this day. We claim this day now, knowing it is unfolding in the perfect time, in the perfect way. And we conclude our prayer, as we always do, with our statement of faith. If you don't know it, it's up here, up front. Together, please. There is only one presence
and one power in the universe and in my life.
God the good, omnipotent, and so it is. Amen. We would love now to sing our welcome song to each other, so if you'd like to stand, we will do that.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
So true, so true. Thanks. And we bless our children, we bless our youth ed program, and we will bless it again later. I see some of our youth here with us in service, and I'm so glad you guys are here. We have, as you know, a new mask policy because everything keeps changing. So, of course, we invite everyone to wear a mask in the service because whether you are vaccinated or not, because that's what's happening now. So, that's what we do now. And while we were in New England, we saw, many other churches and meetings and different things. All over New England, they were saying the same thing. Please wear your mask no matter what your vaccination status is. So we felt like, okay, well, another part of the country is in alignment with this as well. So thanks all of you for wearing your mask. And Don?
Can we have the next slide, please? Yeah, so we just want to mention that the voting membership renewals are due. They're actually past a little bit now. And if you're considering being a voting member, we really want to encourage that. The voting members get to vote on matters that are important to the church, that are actually vital to the church, to the finances, to the facilities, to the personnel, all of these different things. So if you're thinking about being a member, we're going to be offering these Unity Basics classes today and next week. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But if you're a voting member, please renew your membership. Just call the church office or get your information into Mark, okay?
Thank you.
And Mark, you can talk about the app, right?
All right.
Very exciting
Drum
news.
roll.
Oh, there you go.
All right, welcome everyone.
Take your mask down so we can hear you. Thank
You may have heard some rumors for the last few months that there was an app coming. It is actually live streaming our service right now as we talk. so everyone online can see that. Wave to everyone.
Yay!
It's got about a minute latency, so a minute from now I'll see it back there. An email is going to went out on Wednesday, and another one will keep coming out. It's an app. If you have an Android phone or if you have an iPhone, you can click that app and it'll take you to whichever site. And within the next week or so, I'll post individual downloads. It is a place to where we can get onto a prayer wall where we can all actually post prayers and pray for each other and interact within prayer, which is our unity principle. We can access our directory on there, and that'll be unfolding. We can see links and information for men's and women's groups, look at the calendar. If you're on the go and you want to view the service, you can see it, past services. So anything that you can do on any app, you can do on our app. So I encourage you to get it. It's really intended to help you bring the Unity community into your life even more in between the times when we're here on Sunday. So any questions, give me a call in the office. Otherwise, thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Mark, for making that happen. Thank you.
And Mark has really been working on this for months and months, so we really thank you, Mark, for doing that.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Genius.
So Unity,
Hey, Mark.
so Unity is a place that welcomes people of all faiths, all religions, all race, creed, gender identity, sexual orientation. Everybody's welcome here, and we do have a mission statement.
No, not yet.
But not yet.
But not yet.
See what happens when you're away, you forget.
We have a very, very wonderful special announcement. I think that all of you can realize that our sound system is so good. And it wasn't always so good, but it is now. And you can hear very clearly, right? It just is such a delight. And the mix is beautiful. All the sound has just been upgraded so beautifully, thanks to our media team for putting in countless hours to put on new to actually learn and bring forth a new sound system. This would never have been possible except for the extreme generosity of Janice Gilmore's late husband, H.R. Gilmore. And today, we've been wanting to do this, but seems very appropriate to do this today. Janice, we'd like to invite you up. All of you know Janice Gilmore, and she is on your board of trustees as assistant secretary and has been on for almost a complete 3 years now. And what Janice was able to do after her beloved husband, H.R., passed was to donate for the new sound system from him $15,000. And she made all of this possible, everything that you can hear and experience. And we're so grateful to you and to HR, and we've learned so much about him over the years. And he was just a delight from what I understand, and really fun and musical and beautiful, tall, gorgeous man, and taller than her. And they had a wonderful, wonderful relationship for many, many years. So we have a beautiful little plaque that we wanted to share in honor and appreciation for the generosity of Homer Rainey H.R. Gilmore, born January 8th, 1952, through January 28th, 2019. And we're so very grateful to have this finally. And it will be placed on the outside of the sound booth to remind us all that that sound is partly and a great deal from him. So we give this to you with great love. You're welcome.
Can I say a couple of words?
Sure.
Real quick.
Give her a microphone. Yeah.
You know, this was all divine timing. I'd only been here, I started in January of 18, and he passed in January of 2019. I'd been here a very brief time, but this was a no-brainer for me. I couldn't wait to be able to, in his name, gift this money, because I knew the minute, just within a few minutes of my first visit here to Unity of Charlottesville, that this was absolutely the Unity I had been looking for my entire life. And I started in Unity in, 1984-ish. So, it was just so easy for me, through him, through his generosity, to gift this to this community, these Revs and every music team, every sound, everybody, to gift this to this Unity, because this Unity has gifted so much to me and to all of us, right? Love you all. Love you so much.
Thank you, Janice. Thank you, honey. No, you take it. Oh, take it for now.
Okay, let's join together in our mission statement together. Unity of Charlottesville empowers everyone to express their unique divinity, making a positive difference in the world.
Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. We are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. Morning sun coming through the trees, and the green leaves shimmer in the summer breeze. The songbirds singing to the honeybees, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. After the dazzle of day is done, the moon makes love to the setting sun. The stars come twinkling one by one, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. thing is that we're lost and we are not forgotten.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda and Sarah and Jim and David Weiss. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, when you first came into the sanctuary today, hopefully you received a little piece of paper and something to write with. Those are what we will base our lesson on this morning, what you are asking. So if you have those now, first of all, does anybody need a paper and pen or pencil if you didn't receive one when you came in? So there's one there and one there. Everybody else has, okay. So if you have already filled yours out, go ahead and Barbara and Ellen will be collecting them. And while they're doing that, we have a couple of other things that people have asked already. So do you want to move that back so
Sure.
it won't be in the way? Whoops.
Wake up.
So we wanted to start with a question, several questions that have occurred, and that was about our the diversity statement, the resolution from UWM that we read in Sanctuary, I think in July, and it came out in July, and also our safe space training that happened in March. And there were some questions that came up about both things. So we just felt that maybe we could clarify some of it. There was some misunderstandings we felt. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I think if it still is, the resolution is a piece of paper that's on the outside table there if you want to look at it afterwards. I think most of you heard it. And and the safe space training was about helping the community to embrace even more LGBTQ community in our church, in our sanctuary, in our unity movement. So what we wanted to clarify was that although this was a resolution from UWM, you may know by now that each Unity Church is severely independent. UWM, is kind of like suggestions and ideas, good ideas, and but they would never be able to force any individual community to take any particular action whatsoever. So the idea of the resolution, as far as we have discerned and understood it, is that they are trying to be bringing forth the unity message to all people, and that's what's behind it. And that really what we are all here to do is to bring forth oneness in the whole world with all people. And as you know, we say that every single Sunday here at church. We say, all people are welcome, of every race, creed. I mean, you could probably say it along with us as we say it every single week. But that really is the truth of why we're here. That's why we're called Unity, is so that all people can be one and be welcomed as one. So that is the purpose of that resolution. Anything else about the resolution that I might have missed?
No, I don't think so. One of the older mission statements of the Unity Worldwide Movement was the world that works for all. Mm-hmm. So I think some of the misunderstanding about that was that the Unity Movement was saying that that it was adopting another organization, the Black Lives Matter organization, or just adopting a specific political action. And that was not the intention of that statement. The intention was just to say that this is we want a world that works for all. So.
Yeah. And Unity is not a political organization. You've never heard any of us say vote for or don't vote for or be this or be that, and we never would. You know, this is spiritual community, and we honor your decisions about what you do with your lives as well as your political lives. We honor that, knowing that you are, when you go within, you're connected, you know, so that's not for us to tell you. So that's about the resolution. And, you know, and we're in the lineage of Jesus Christ, you know, and what did Jesus do? He went against the Pharisees who said, you know, don't talk to women or don't talk to Samaritans, you know, that kind of exclusion. He said, no, 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 I'm talking to everybody. And he embraced everybody. He had women who were followers. He honored the Samaritans. You know, there was no people that was outside of his love. And that's what we are following. That's all we want to do, too. With the safe space training, we felt maybe there was some misunderstanding there as well. The safe space training was presented to all of us, and we know that we are a very, very loving community, a very accepting community. We have always been that, and we see that every single Sunday as people come in. They are welcomed warmly. The safe space training was simply to not say that we're doing anything wrong along those lines, but to say, how can we understand even more deeply a person's life path? How can we understand even more completely what does it mean to be a person who is gay or transgender? How can we learn even more about them, just so that we know more about them and know how to be more loving? That's all. You know, when we hear each other's stories, don't we feel so much closer? That really was the purpose for the safe space training as well. And, you know, and what else? Have I said that?
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, thank you. I'll take a little shake from that.
Yeah, excellent.
Thank you very much. Okay. So where are, anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Oh, and also, you know, when confusion happens, these days, confusion can happen any place, right? Please go direct to us. Go direct to Maria Stein. She's your board president. She's always available. And your board is available. We're available. You don't have to worry about it in the dark. You know, ask us. We'll help to clarify to the best of our ability.
Well, can I ask just about that? Is anyone in here feel that you were being made wrong by the training, the safe space training?
Well,
Okay, good.
no, maybe not now that we've explained everything.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, okay.
All right, good.
Good.
So that's what we really wanted to clarify. That was not the intention. You know, the intention is we do the best we can just to be inclusive, to love everybody. We don't need to be trained to love people. That just comes naturally to us, and that's what we teach in Unity. But this was an idea of just having greater understanding and greater awareness. Isn't that what we're all about? Isn't that what the spiritual path is all about? To be more and more and more spiritually awake. It takes some work. Sometimes it takes moving outside of our comfort zone even, right? So that's what that was about.
Okay, thank you. So Barbara, you have the questions. Thank you, dear. And I'm going to start out with one question that we were emailed. And I appreciated the question. It's one that, you know, I haven't heard very much, but I really enjoy the question. And may I say, Richard emailed a question to us, and he said, thank you, Barbara. We are a couple of us, I guess, are thinking about the metaphysical interpretation of the Bible, because we've talked about that in July quite a lot. He had a brilliant question. He said, how do we interpret the metaphysics of Abraham, who was guided by God to kill, sacrifice his own only born son, Isaac? And you may remember, it's such a delightful story. Sarah, Abraham's wife, is like 90 years old or something in the story. And God tells Sarah and Abraham that Sarah is going to give birth to their firstborn son at 90. And she laughs. And that's, and women could laugh at that. And that's one of the big things. Sarah laughs, And but she does give birth to Isaac, and he's a healthy, wonderful young boy, and they love him, and, of course, he's going to carry on the lineage of Abraham, the beginning of the whole faith. Abraham's the core of the Jewish faith and the Islamic faith as well. All start with Abraham. So God says, kill your only child that you've waited all these years for, and you know what a firstborn son means in the continuation of the faith. This wasn't just a son that he didn't like. This was Isaac, the hope of the future. So, a good question. What is the metaphysics of this? Why would God ask Abraham to kill this son? Well, when we look at it metaphysically, remember it's a metaphor. And has God ever asked you to get rid of something that you have loved so dearly, that you have cherished so much, but because of what is next in your life, you must let that go so something new can come? I know some of your stories. I'm looking at you. I know some of your stories. And I know that you have had to do that. And it's not an easy thing to do. But when you get the call of Spirit, it really does eventually make sense. So Abraham was willing to do what God was guiding him to do, which was to release something that he loved so dearly in order for the greater good. Now, because it is a story as well, God stopped Abraham's hand from stabbing Isaac. But he knew that Abraham was willing to do it, to follow God wherever that path would lead. So it's a very, very dynamic story, and without the metaphysics, you think, this is weird, but it is symbolic, and we can all relate to it. As I was thinking about how to understand it myself, I thought, during the Vietnam War, my brother is 5.5 years younger than me, and I was in college and during that time, and they had the lottery that they were choosing men who would have to go to the war. And my brother was getting to that age. And I, loved him so much, I did not want him to go to war. And we lived in Buffalo, so we were just over the Peace Bridge to Canada. And I said to him, I will give up my life here, give up my schooling, and I will go and live with you in Canada if you get a high number and you should be, drafted. I won't see that happen. I will give all this up to help you and support you, and we'll go and be Canadians. And I would have done that and given up all that I loved for a higher good. So that's really what I think that story is about. Are you willing to let go of these things that mean so much to you for the greater good.
It makes so much of a difference, if you think about that, if you look at that story and you think, oh, this God is just a wicked, capricious, God, just kind of just manipulating, being the puppet master, like sending hurricanes to southern Louisiana, or giving boils and taking everything away from Job, or making Abraham kill his son, all of that stuff. That's an entirely way of looking, that literal way of looking at it is entirely different than if you kind of redirect it inward and take it inside and look at that and then ask some of the questions that Patricia has been asking about what is ours to do in this situation. When we're tested with our faith, what is ours to do? How do we deal with it? How do we look at it? What is our relationship to faith? What is our relationship to the God of our understanding? So it's quite different.
Yes, yes. I hope that answers it. Thanks for the question. Okay, is the indwelling Christ in everyone? And how do you see forgiveness and grace? Now, everyone, these are the people we don't like, right?
Yeah. It's
Do you want to
not for
answer
them, no. Only for the people we like.
Do you want to answer that?
Yeah. Well, of course, now this is the same idea of Unity Worldwide Ministries and relationship to Unity Church of Charlottesville, Unity of Charlottesville. We don't tell you what to believe. This is a place where we hope you are encouraged to seek the truth for yourself and your understanding of truth for yourself. So what we teach in Unity is that absolutely yes, the Christ is within everyone, absolutely everyone. That's our very first principle. One presence, one power. The spark of divinity is within each and every person. So yes. And how do we see grace and forgiveness? That's a big question. So forgiveness, you got to do it. That's all there is to it. Ongoing, 70 times 7. What Jesus had said in that passage is, before you come to the altar to worship, forgive your brother and your sister. Forgive everyone. Right? So it's just part of our spiritual practice, is how we see it. If you are not forgiving, if you're holding on to resentment, it hurts you. And the Buddha's analogy of that was that it's like holding a hot coal in your hand and not liking someone, not wanting to forgive someone, resenting someone, and thinking that if you hold this hot coal in your hand and throw it at them, they will be hurt. Meanwhile, your hand is burning up, right? So that's kind of the idea. And grace, grace is everything. I wrote about this in my book a little bit because I was pondering the difference between karma and grace, And karma is the kind of the principle of the law of mind action, that as you sow, you reap, as you think it is so. And so everything that we do, all of our actions are resulting from past actions. But the principle of grace says that you get more than you deserve, that God is a loving God, that God has this relationship with us individually, and that regardless of who we are, what we've done, who we've been, that God's love is unconditional. So to me it seems that karma actually functions within the law of grace, but that's a big debate for maybe another talk.
I apologize. We really wanted you to put your name and email on here so that if we didn't get to all of them, we could email you a response, and we forgot to mention that. There is some people that did write their names, so I'll start with them. Okay, Kate asks, if God is everything, how does free will play in? This is a very important question for all of us. Free will, we believe that there is free will for each and every one of us. And just like Don said, God is the energy of goodness, radiating unrestricted towards us, in us, and through us. It is an energy, it is spirit. It is not picking and choosing, well, you should do this or that. It is just a radiating force of loving energy. So free will, because we are divine, we are created in the image and likeness of God, we are spirit, expressing through these physical forms. We have free will to do whatever it is that we feel we must do. Free will can include doing evil. Free will can include making mistakes. Free will can include choosing the highest road and everything in between. It is, and that's why in Unity we honor who you are at depth, because you are spirit and you have the ability to choose what is right and perfect for you. Many people choose wrongly, as you know, along the path, but then they can learn from that as well. They make mistakes, we all make mistakes, and then we see, oh, you know, I didn't like the way that felt. I didn't like how I treated that person. I didn't like the sadness maybe that they had after I spoke. And out of that mistake, I can choose again. We can always choose again. And we have free will to do that. Oh, and the reason why we have free will, I think, is because the Creator is such a good parent. And you as a parent, I know you give your children great free will, appropriate to their age. And any parent would want to do that to the full extent that they could give free will to their children. They would say, you can go out and run around the neighborhood. You're 7 years old, and I want you to come back at this time and keep your commitment with me, and you give them a little bit of freedom, free will, age appropriate, and then you make sure that they come back on the time. As we get older and as we embrace our lives as spirit, we have complete free will, because what beneficent force would want to control us? You see, it's antithetical. If it's a beneficent force, it says, go and do what you want to do. Make your mistakes, learn, and grow. Without free will, that is a puppet master, and that's not loving. So you can't have both. Either it's a loving spirit or it's a controlling spirit. We know it's a loving spirit, and that's why we have complete free will.
And of course, the Fillmores taught and believed about in reincarnation, that we have many lives, just as billions of Hindus and Buddhists around the world teach as well. So if we make mistakes, if we use our free will and we make what quote would be a mistake or look like on the surface look like a setback, the Fillmores' idea is that we're, as spiritual beings, on an upward evolutionary spiral, so that you come around again to meet and have another opportunity to learn, to grow, to be blessed. And maybe that's again where grace comes in. But the idea is that we keep moving, and eventually what would be the goal of evolution, I suppose, would be the just complete absolute oneness with the divine, right? That would be the realization that Jesus had, and Buddha, and many other great masters and saints.
Mm-hmm. So, Christine, thank you, asks, is Unity operating outside the United States? How many Unity churches exist? And what is the Unity understanding of God? And what is it based on? So we just mentioned about how we feel about God, this light force of good, and it's based on perennial teachings. I mean, from the very beginning of the Hindu traditions and Jesus's teachings, all of the mystical pieces of all of the religions agree. God is spirit, God is is us, and we are all one. So you see it throughout history, repeated over and over again.
So the New Thought movements were based on direct experience. So the Fillmores consider themselves to be first century Christians. basically that, and mystical Christians, right? So all of these traditions that have some sense of a direct experience of the divine, and that's what the perennial philosophy is. That's what you find throughout all spiritual traditions in some form or another. So there are about 600 Unity centers worldwide, and it is taught around the world. And with more heavy concentrations, we're in Australia, we're in, I think you've all heard the story about Nigeria, which is so fascinating that
Tell it again.
in the early 1900s, Charles Fillmore bought a radio station in southern Texas. One of the very first, quote, religious people. Unity started as an educational movement, but he was one of the first sort of religious people to buy and broadcast on a radio station, right? The radio signal skipped over the atmosphere to Nigeria. And the tribal chieftains in Nigeria were listening to these messages from Charles Fillmore. And so there's this huge, and then they were teaching their folks about, and their people about unity. And every, when we can meet again at our Unity conferences, we have a huge contingent of Nigerians that come.
They're all in their beautiful garbs,
It's quite fascinating. So.
It's really, really fun. It's because Charles Fillmore was really a visionary, and he, we often say if he was around now, he would be techno major person, and...
He'd be where Bob is sitting.
Yeah, he'd
right?
be what?
He'd be where Bob is sitting. He'd be running Zoom.
So Brigitte asked, does Unity Worldwide Ministry have an organized program to support refugees entering the U.S.?
The answer is no. The answer is that is left up to each individual Unity Center. So this gets back to what we kind of started out with, and it's and it's kind of the really fuzzy gray area between political action and social justice. So would we, if someone from this congregation was interested in supporting refugees in some way, would we be supportive of that? The answer is yes. That seems like a decent thing to do. I don't know if that answers that. Each individual center is independent. So we can be as socially active or as non-socially active as we want, but the umbrella is our primary mission statement. We are a spiritual center. We empower the divinity within each individual to make a positive difference in the world. We don't tell you how to do that. That has to come from you.
And as you know, how all of the teams were formed is that two people came together with an idea, like the food drive, Lynn Foster headed that up for many, many years and had other people helping her with that. We didn't tell Lynn Foster she had to make a food drive. This was a passion in her heart. And she brought it forth into our community. And it's always been, if you have a desire to create a new team here at Unity, have another person with you. Two people work better together. We see them supporting each other. Make an appointment to talk to us. We'll see if it fits within the mission and vision of the church. And, we can go ahead. So I think that answers your question. Okay. Stephen, you wrote very small, and I have my contacts in today, so I will try to read. How does prayer play a role in unity practice and history? Is it that things change because of prayer or a plea? Learning about the history, it seems like prayer has used to heal, but what happens when healing doesn't happen? Maybe just what's the deal with prayer?
What's the deal with prayer?
What's
the deal? What's the deal with prayer?
Yeah. Well, this is a juicy topic, and one that we love very much. Do you want to start it out? Okay. Prayer is the cornerstone of Unity. I think you know that is how Unity got started, because Myrtle Fillmore was dying of tuberculosis at age 40. There was no cure for her, and she had an aha moment listening to a New Thought lecture that she is a child of God, and therefore she does not inherit sickness. Because all of her life, her family said, you are a frail person, we have tuberculosis in our family and all around us, and you probably will die young from tuberculosis. So that was her conditioning her whole life, and by 40 she was acting out that prediction. But she didn't want to die, of course, and with that aha, that spiritual awakening that she had, she realized, okay, if I am a child of God, then I inherit from that parent, and that parent is not sick. That parent does not have tuberculosis. It's God. So she went about for 2 years to use prayer, meditation, and sitting in the silence, asking the healer, Christ Jesus, to sit across from her and to heal her. She did body-mind work on herself that was before any of this was regular in the society. She intuited, if she thought about her lungs, and she saw her lungs expanding with light and clear, healthy energy, that she could infuse that into her own body because she is spirit and she is a child of spirit. So she was able to do that. After 2 years, she was healed completely. She went on to live to 86 without any illness at all. And then Charles said, oh my gosh, she did this. I wonder if I could do this. Was it a fluke or not? He healed a withered leg. He didn't have to walk with a cane anymore. And but Charles is here today. My Charles. What I mean is Kate and I did a play, and she played Charles, and I played Myrtle. And it was great. And so then they went on to heal other people. And in the late 1800s, early 1900s, New Thought people were healing people left and right of all kinds of illnesses quickly and almost immediately. And we often talk about that in seminary and amongst, Unity people. How come that was happening then? We feel perhaps it was a way that, well, first of all, these people were so infused with spirit, with truth, and they believed it so completely that nothing could be further from their reality. They did it themselves, and then they saw other people healed by their prayers and their very light hands-on healing, where they would just put their hands on the person's shoulders and direct healing energy. And one after the other, and I mean amazing healings, having a little boy who was crippled and doctors said he would never walk. Myrtle prayed with him and he walked home. He was healed. I mean, amazing things like that. So probably to prove that prayer works. Now, can it be that all of us have been praying for something that has manifested quickly? Yes, and I know some of you, I know your histories, I know that's true. Some of you have been praying for a long time, and it has not manifested. So we have to ask, why not?
Yet.
Yet, exactly. Charles has a wonderful quote that I cannot quote exactly, but he said, if you pray in the way that we're saying, where you claim you're good, in truth and belief, in absolute belief, you will manifest what it is you believe, what you're praying for. However, the time frame is not guaranteed. It could be a minute, it could be a year, it could be your lifetime, it could be in the next lifetime. So we do not have any guarantee of the time frame, but we can be assured that it will come through in the best way possible. Now, are there reasons that the prayers are not manifested quickly? Yes, because it may be that you or I or we need to learn more about that subject. Maybe you're praying to find the right and perfect spouse. You know, you've been looking for many years and it just seems like nobody's out there. So you keep praying, you keep affirming, you have prayer partners that pray with you and so forth and so on. Nothing seems to be happening. Could it be that you need to learn more about relationships? Could it be that you need to develop your own personality about being loving to another person? Could it be that there is history in your life where you had troubled relationships and perhaps you need to clean that up and do your own forgiveness work and learn from what happened? All of that takes time. If you found the perfect person right away in the first minute, perhaps you would make the same mistake that you did with all of those other failed relationships, and nothing would change. So you see, sometimes that space there is for us to do our work, to do more deeper work. I hope that answers.
We have to wind up, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me just say about prayer. My answer would be shorter, which is that we don't pray to change God. We pray to change ourselves. So this prayer is about alignment with Spirit, alignment with the God of our understanding, with the universe. That's what it's about. And I can speak from experience with my heart surgery, open heart surgery, and with now currently these prostate issues. The prayer for me is about understanding and my relationship to my faith, my relationship, what I claim in terms of my wholeness. That's the healing process for me, is claiming that wholeness. The result of that is not mine to do. Mine to do is to be strong in faith, strong in courage, strong in prayer, and continue that work. So I would invite you. We have this prayer meeting every Wednesday night from 6:30 to 7. It's open to everybody. We have a kind of a solid core of people that come to that. Many of the prayers are about healing. And what we do in that half hour, that very powerful half hour, is we just hold space for each other. And we've seen incredible miracles occur. Incredible.
Yes.
So,
True.
so we actually have to wind up, I think, now.
Okay, so what I'd like to do, we have several of these that don't have names on it. So if you wrote one and you didn't put your name on it, I think we've got 6 more here. If you would put your name and email, we will answer this and send you an email. So I'd like to entrust this in Barbara's hands. So if Barbara, if you would come, and at the end of the service, if you or someone else could be there for those 6 people, that would be great. We would absolutely, there's some wonderful questions there, and we'd love to answer them. We will do it. So if you let us know who you are, we'll absolutely do it. Okay, so some meditation perhaps. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your questions. It's always fun to see where everybody is.
And if you have more questions, or you just didn't think about something to write, we're here. Just put it. I think there's a box out on the table out there. Just put your question there. We'll try to get back to you.
With your name and email so we can respond.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear is only love. When I lose myself, when I think I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love.
So let's take this time to go even deeper into the silence and the meditation. Charles Fillmore called the silence our connecting link with Spirit. So I invite us just to be in this moment of silence. As we begin to bring our awareness back, we can just take a moment to give thanks for all of the shoulders that we stand on as spiritual beings, all of the great saints and teachers and masters and avatars and all of those who have shared their wisdom of how to keep on keeping on, how to grow spiritually as human beings, to really uncover, not discover, but uncover the beauty of who we are, each as individualized expressions of the divine. And for this we are most grateful, and we say thank you. And let us now bring our attention back to this room as we complete this time. There is only love.
So if you haven't already, just take a nice deep breath and allow yourself to return your consciousness to this time and place, breathing more deeply, maybe stretching a bit and being fully returned where you are. Well, we have an opportunity in our service now to give a portion of all of our good back into circulation here in our beloved community. And so there are many ways to give at Unity. I know we have a slide for that. There it is. Online, texting to give, or mailing your check in, and also to be able to give in this service. So as Ellen's coming forward with the contactless butterfly net, we will just welcome first anyone who is here for the very first time. Is anybody here for the first time? I think you're all family. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And you know, this is an opportunity to practice a principle of giving from a space of love. Not giving out of obligation or have to, but to actually infuse your gift with the love that you are. Because as you do that, we know that love and giving will come back to you many, many times over in many different ways. So this is giving and receiving. It is a beautiful flow. So let us share together our blessing. Together, please. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one song. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, as Don mentioned earlier, we do have the midweek faith lift. Join us every Wednesday, 6:30 to 7 for powerful prayers. What's happening today, Don?
If I leave my mic on, I sound like Darth Vader under the mask. So today at 12:30, we have Unity Basics 1, which is the history of the Unity movement. So if you're wanting to know what the history of this center is, what the history of the Unity movement is, 12:30 down in the terrace level, we'll have lots of social distancing, and it's available for those who want to stay in person. And it will also be on Zoom on the very same link that you tuned into the service on. So if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you'll need to get off, I think, and log back onto Zoom. And the links for that are on our website, unitycharlottesville.org. And then next Sunday at the same time, 12:30, we'll have Unity Basics 2, which is the history of what Unity teaches. What does Unity actually teach about different things? And these are both required classes to become voting members of Unity. And if you are regularly attending and just have been attending for some time, we really encourage you to become a voting member and take a more active part in some of these decisions that we need to make from time to time. So, also, World Day of Prayer is this week. Now, World Day of Prayer, this is, I think, the 28th year of the World Day of Prayer, and it's online this year directly from Unity World Headquarters in Silent Unity. So, in your weekly emails, you have the link to join those conversations on Wednesday night, and then there are 3 separate times on Thursday that you can plug in as well. And this joins us with Unity centers and Unity people from all around the world, thousands of people praying and being together at the same time. So we hope you'll kind of check that out.
And of course, on the 3rd Thursday of every month, once again in September, we will have our Men of Unity, and I believe they are studying Don's book, which is really, really great. Thank you guys for doing that.
Cool.
Thank you. And also this month, we'll have Kate Adamson lead us on the Labyrinth Walk, ritual about change of season. And so that's in 2 weeks, though, September 19th. The Unity Bookstore is open thanks to Don Brady.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Don. Thank you. We're so grateful. We're so grateful that you're doing that. And also, he has a very special book in there. Well, Don's book, but also he has our fall book study book, and that is Divine Audacity, Dare to be the Light of the World. And many of you know that in the fall, starting October 3rd, excuse me, for 7 weeks, there will be small groups meeting online with, I believe we have 9 incredible facilitators. There'll be 5 groups, and right now online, Mark has put the different times and groups that are available. So go online and... Okay, in a few days. And if you have trouble with that, just talk to Mark. And you can sign up for one of those groups that will meet online. It's a very, very dynamic experience of being able to discuss a book such as this. This is all about the 12 Powers by Linda Martella-Whitsett, who is a brilliant author and also the head of Silent Unity. So this week you'll see her on the Silent Unity broadcast for World Day of Prayer as well. And she'll be with us at the end of September too, virtually. But go ahead and pick up that book, see if you like it. It's very in-depth about the 12 powers, and then join one of the groups for the fall.
We have some really excellent facilitators for that. Lisa Ellison is the co-team leader for that group. And it's just a good way, especially as this pandemic seems to be ongoing for the time being with the Delta variant and all of this stuff. It's a way for us to be connected, to be focused on spirituality, and to go really, really deep into the 12 powers, which are very, very profound. This is kind of a new look at the 12 powers. So we hope you'll consider that. And the Eastern Region Conference is also virtual this year. You're welcome to join into that as well. There's a fee for that, unfortunately, but it's I think the business meeting for that is free. So we'll let you know a little more about that next week. But it is available. The links are on our weekly email. And
Kate and our youth ed representative for this area, Janelle, are doing a workshop on youth ed on Sunday afternoon, right? And check the website for that if you want to tune in. And I know somebody asked about volunteering for Youth Ed on one of the papers, so you may want to watch that as well. So, cool. Okay.
And of course, pastoral care, we are always active with our pastoral care teams for.
There's one before that, Don. This one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a new
Okay.
community tithing team.
Yes, we do. Yes. And usually we we tithe to Unity Worldwide Headquarters, UWM, Unity Eastern Region, Silent Unity, and we also have started tithing to community nonprofits. You may know there are about at least 700 nonprofits in Charlottesville. So we have a ways to go. But we do have a team for this, and it's headed up by Jackie Brown. She's here today at the back of the sanctuary, tall. And also on our team, Shirley Fleischman and Lynn Foster. They are open to your suggestions for other community nonprofits that you feel are worthy of our tithes. So if you want to see Jackie or email her or call her, they're open to your suggestions.
So let me just say that the board's intention of that is to set aside a portion of each month's tithes and then to select a community organization and tithe to that on a quarterly, tithe to that one organization on a quarterly basis, and then the next quarter would be to another organization. So your input is appreciated, and Jackie's there to hear that.
Yes.
So, and now for pastoral care, of course, our healing helpers, our Unity prayer partners, and our pastoral care team. We had a call this week, someone needing a ride to the hospital for surgery, and wonderfully, Buddy has agreed to take that person to the hospital. And so we just want you to know that during this time, we are still actively here to support you in any way that we can with prayer and with action as well.
Yes.
And then finally, virtual fellowship will be brief, very brief today, but will happen for all those who are online. And then at 12:30, come and join us on our Unity Basics.
So shall we just bless the children? Okay, here it is. Children, Uniteens, YOUers, teachers and parents, you are loved, special, and important. So true.
That's the truth. We want to thank David Weiss and Jim Polson and Rhonda.
Thank you.
And
Sarah.
And also Sarah for today. We want to thank our blessing team out there, and Barbara and Ellen and her team, Buddy, and
Thank you.
Aisha, and Mark, and Bob. Thank you all. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. So let us stand, and our prayer teams, our healing helpers will be in the corner there with PMH. Buddy and Peggy, I believe, are here for one-on-one on prayer. So if your prayers, your prayer needs will be met. So let us say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And wherever God is, all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin
forth from this sanctuary of love and be the love that you are in the world. God bless you and have a wonderful week.
Okay.
Virtual.